got a strange fault on this Lenovo. I think it's the IdeaPad. So a quick look. Yeah, IdeaPad S340 15IWL. What's happening is it's not that old, but the battery appears to be 100% and then suddenly just cuts out. So 1 minute it seems to be working, and the next minute there's just no battery left at all. It seems to charge okay, and weirdly the diagnostics, the actual Lenovo diagnostic software seems to check out that the battery's okay. But it seems to last 1 minute, and then suddenly at 100% it can just suddenly cut out. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the battery with this one here. So this is the battery module. So funny shape, but like an L. Weirdly, it's got a bit of tape over here, but it does say it's the Lenovo battery model for this one. 4,670 milliamp hours, 52.5 watt hours. So it's quite a beast. You can see how much real estate this takes up inside there. It looks like there's just going to be a load of screws. There's like a clipping mechanism here, like it slots in there first, and then we've got our power connector just here. There's the IdeaPad. It's quite a nice laptop actually, Intel Pentium Gold. But yeah, it's not that old, 3 or 4 years perhaps. But yeah, the battery has been on and off for a little while, so it's time to replace. So we'll get into the back of it and we'll see what's going on. Now, unlike a lot of laptops that I've opened, this one is using very small star bits. A lot of them are just crossheads, but this one's covered in very tiny star bits, so I'm going to have to deploy the Rolson precision screwdriver set, and I'm hoping I've got one of these little star bits. Yeah, it's even smaller than that. I mean, we're talking mega tiny. What's going to fit? Yeah, there we go. That fits. So that is the bit. That is mega tiny, isn't it? Very small there. And there's the screw. So, yeah, need a special bit for that one. So we'll get this open and we'll have a look inside, and then we'll look to replace this. It has been supplied with the laptop to replace, so I'm going to find out and just double check this is the correct one. And I'm going to peel this off and look underneath as well and see what's going on under here. So a few checks, we'll whip the cover off and have a look. Okay, well that's super interesting. I don't know why that was covering Lenovo. Now this looks like the genuine battery. It's kind of got Lenovo all over it. So, very strange. As long as it works, that's the main thing. A bonus being a genuine one rather than third party. I've got all the screws out. They're quite long, so they're longer than I thought they would be. They're not captive, sadly, so they seem to come out. Well, yeah, they do come out. So, and they all seem to be the same size, which is good, but it's not popping off that easily just yet. So what I'm having to do is just use a plastic spudger. I'm going to seem to start from this top end here. There's the laptop. I'm just starting from this end and then moving my way across. I'm using a spudger. I should not be using a metal one, but that's what I am using. You can obviously cover that in tape if you're a bit worried, but I'm just being very gentle and coming around the edge, and I'll just keep peeling. So that's what I'm going to continue to do, and then I'll show you the clip. So working my way around, these are the various little clips that you have to just pop open. There we go, you can see one there for instance, and once you've just kind of got into those, it does start to open up quite nicely. So it's just that initial getting to the clips, holding it in is the key. Since these are falling out, be very careful you don't rub these across the case. So I'm just going to whip them out, and oh, there we go, I think we're there. It's come off. So I started at this top corner, worked my way to about here, and once I've got to here, off it comes. So here is inside. fairly typical, especially with this design. I've seen this on a lot of Lenovos. And there's our battery. Let's line it up. So, looks very, very similar, doesn't it? Lenovo battery and Lenovo battery. Oh, interesting. So the original was 3220 milliamp hours, which was a 35 watt hour, or 36. This one's a 52. So we've gone up in capacity. That's cool. But yeah, it looks genuine, doesn't it? Because we've got all the contact details here. Both made in China. 11.25 volts. 1305, limited charging voltage. So these are all the same. And, well, model name is different. Slightly. There's our connector. But I'm going to just double check. But I think that is the correct one. So, and here's our, oh, I see. It's not really a clipping mechanism as such. It just holds a wire in place. So the next thing will just be unpicking these wires very gently, removing the screws. It doesn't look like any are hidden, thankfully. So quite easy to replace. And while we're here, let's have a quick look. There's our heatsink and the heat pipe to the cooler. Vents at the back. Fan. Little battery there. That would be our hard drive, I think. 128 gig. Yeah, sorry, that is a bay for a hard drive. Should you wish to put one in, an SSD would be the only option you really want to. So yeah, that's a bay for a hard drive. That is the actual hard drive there. 128 gig. Speakers. And of course all the other bits and pieces like Wi-Fi and various other connections. So there we go. So let's get this off and then we'll get the new one in place. The tricky one, I think, is going to be this little clip here. We just need to be super careful with these because sometimes these can be a bit of a pain and you don't want to break that. Otherwise, you're forever trying to fix that back in place. It looks like just a pull off because if we check out the new one, just looks like a pull out. There's no hinge or latch on here, so it should just be a case of pulling that one out. There might be a little connection at the end, but I will use my trusty magnifying glass to just double check. And then we'll get that out. This is interesting. Look, there's even little rubber stoppers for the speakers to stop them vibrating for the extreme bass. And in fact, this one's over here, different size compared to that one, different dimensions and shape. Yeah, but very cool. And you can see how the metal hinges for the screen are built in for strength. Neat. Okay, it has been confirmed. It's high capacity, but it does fit, does work. I'll have to find out where that was ordered from because, yeah, it looks genuine. And for this one here, I'm just going to pull this out. There's no clips or anything. There we go. That just pops out, just slides in there. It's quite secure, kind of holds it well in place. And now it's just a case of unpicking these little wires, being very careful not to damage those. So I want to get them out of here, like so. That goes under. There we go, just release those so they can come out. It's quite nicely tidied. Makes sure they're not trapped. And for the screws, these are actually normal crossheads. So let's have a look. Yeah, swap that out. One of these. And then we'll connect it up and blow it up. I mean, power it up. So we got 1, 2, and 3. I think there's one in the top as well. Slightly more hidden just by the laptop connector here. Oh, there's no screw on that one. That's easy. So yeah, so it's just the 3 then. Let's lift it out. And there we go. Old one. Little place for the new one to go in. Speaker wire. A few other bits and pieces under here. Very neat. So then So then what we'll do is we'll just place this in, line it up, make sure nothing's trapped. So this one was slightly over, wasn't it? Kind of holding it in. Like that. That was underneath, and that kind of goes around here. That loops in. I think that was about it. So wires going up here, over the top. That one goes over there, that goes under, and then over, and then back around. So that's good, that's all in place. So now it's just these little screws. And of course the first thing will be to do is to give this a real full charge on the mains. Give it a good boost. Not too tight for those, it's only plastic. That's okay. It looks a bit weird, that connector, but that's how it was. Okay, this one now. But it fits in. I think that's as far in as it goes. Yeah, that's definitely in. So when it's fully in home, yeah, it's looking alright. So we're in. So I'll get it on the mains, make sure it charges, and then we'll power the laptop on. Okay, well, we're plugged in and we are charging. So I've not fully pushed it home yet. Just want to protect the back, but I'll leave that on until that goes white, and then we'll do a power on and we'll see what we got.